Hi, welcome to the Black Guy Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Monday after the Super Bowl, a hangover Monday, as the alcoholics call it. And we are ready to do some podcasting. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I only want to talk about one thing. And honestly, I really don't want to talk about it with a couple of people.
Agreed.
And one of those people is the guest on today's show.
Mm-hmm.
You may know her as award-winning best New York Times bestseller, novelist, author, poet, laureate, and all the other things, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. It is unofficial step piercing. It's my girl, Bassey Ikpi. What's going on, girl?
Hi, hello. Has it been like a year?
You know what else though? You're a podcaster now.
I am.
Yeah,
I am. I have a podcast called The Idea of Podcast with my guy Michael. And honestly, it's just us. We come in with a plan and then we end up just like talking about shit. So it's not a pop culture podcast, even though we did talk about the halftime show today. But it's mainly about like life and aging and just kind of figure things out loud with other people around. So it's called The Idea of Podcast, and it's wherever podcasts are sold. No, found
available. Yeah, wherever they're
available. There you go.
And listen, first of all, you're many of our fans' favorite guest on the show. There's a lot of people that listen to This Too Much with me and you, who I don't even know if they cross over to the main show unless you're on it. So I say all this to say there are people looking for bossy content, is my point. And they don't know that you got a podcast because you don't be promoting shit. You very much like, I got a thing. It's a thing.
It's like, how are people supposed to find it, baby?
I found out because she slipped up in the text. She's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I just got done recording my podcast. Like, what the fuck? I went and there was episodes out. Like, it's been out.
I didn't know either.
I'm just out here giving away thought. Okay, I see how it is.
I don't post it at all because I don't like my voice, and I talk a lot on the podcast. So I'm just like, nobody needs to hear that.
You say that. First of all, you're so smart. Your voice is so good, and it's so interesting too because like, when we did like this too much, when we do episodes of This Too Much, Bossy will go back and listen. Like she'll hit me up like a couple days later about, you know what I forgot to say? And I'm like, what happened? She's like, should have said this. I'm like, damn, that's a good point. We got to say that next time.
Yeah, that's how you get better.
Karen does it. I'm the one that don't listen to my shit. I don't listen to me. I said it. I lived in the moment. I fucked up then. I don't need to go back.
Yeah, and I think for me, the biggest reason why I go back and listen, and I don't listen as much to our show as much as I used to. I used to be very adamant about it. But the biggest reason why is because I've learned when I go back and listen, it gets you used to hearing the sound of your voice. So you can get over that because most people don't like the sound of their own voices.
Well, I like the sound of my voice. I don't like the sound of other people hearing my voice.
Okay, because I know for me it was like just hearing your voice is kind of odd because you're always speaking, so it's odd to kind of hear it back to yourself. And I think for me it sharpened, when I go back and listen, it sharpens my the comedic part of me because I'm not a comedian, but I've realized when I listened to it, it made me start being sharper, start actually tying things together, doing like callbacks and connecting dots and things like that, and doing more anding and kind of expanding that thing.
Yeah. So, as a person that lives in their head, I feel like I revisit those moments all the time when I don't want to. This is like 4 a.m. and it's just like, hey, remember that time you said that thing? And I'm like, fuck.
Very true.
I do remember that time I said that thing. Now I can't sleep.
And
my teacher wasn't pregnant. She just put on some weight. I don't know why I said that. That was 10th grade. I should be able to let that go. I'm 46, but I can't.
It's true. I physically cringe at, like, I'll just be sitting here minding my own business and something happens and I remember I'm like, ugh. Like, oh.
Right.
it. Go back in time and fix it.
Right. That's a good movie idea, a good sketch idea or something. I get a time machine, but I'm just going back fixing this tiniest fucking faux pas. It's like, well, you gonna stop Trump from getting reelected? I'm like, no, I said Miss Hardaway was pregnant. When we met, I saw her at the mall, and I said, I didn't even know they let you out of school. Then I was like, and congratulations. I don't know what I was thinking, so I'm just gonna stop myself from saying that.
Embarrassing myself.
And they're like, and you do that, but then you go back to the future, and it's like, actually, Trump didn't become president. You said that, and that's fixed the world. But listen. Okay, you guys, I know what you guys want to hear. You want to hear us talk about Kendrick Lamar and this halftime show, because that's what I want to talk about.
Yes.
I'll do the show up front because that's what we're supposed to do. And I'll find a way to slide commercials in here somewhere because I want to make money. I'm still a capitalist. The first thing is live show tickets on sale in the show notes. VIP tickets are gone. Regular seats are there. We went through a walkthrough of the space today. It's our first time in this more intimate space, which means tinier.
Yeah.
But it was still dope. It's still the Blumenthal Center for Performing Arts. It was actually a little fancy. Like, you can see the street in this one. You can like look out these windows and see people. They told us we can make the sound go outside, and they said, "Did you want that?" I said, "We're gonna be cussing and drinking."
So I don't think the outside
that would be smart.
People gonna be walking around and just see two black people be like, "Hey, nigga, what's happening?
This ain't the Lion King."
Right.
Like, why would you do that to random charlatans? But we got everything squared away. We're working on like other stuff behind the scenes. But for people that want to do VIP meet and greet, that's gonna start at 5:30. So someone had emailed me to be like, "What time should I get there for that?" 5:30 is when we plan on doing that, from 5:30 to 6:30. So be there, be on time. It's a lot of y'all. We definitely want to give everybody like their moment, get that picture and all that stuff. And then the show starts at 7. The doors for regular folks opens up at 6:30. So, feel free. There's a bar inside. You can get a drink. Try not to be too loud when you get a drink during the show. I know some of y'all need your juice, but you know what I'm saying? Just keep it real. And then the other show notes. That was it. Yeah, that's it. So just those are the show notes. Make sure y'all do that. Leave 5-star reviews. Blah blah. Official weapon of the show is the folding chair.
Yeah.
The unofficial sport.
But think about it. Bullet ball.
And bullet ball extreme. And now with no.
That show was about to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, and Oh wait, you know what? I do have banter.
I got some.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, we got a little bit of banter. Then I promise Kendrick Lamar. This will give us a chance to play a commercial. So give me 1 second. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter? 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 Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Banter? Okay, we have a little bit of banter. I only have a couple things. Karen, I don't know how many things you have.
Oh, I got a list, but we're
gonna try to move fast though, because I want to do mostly Kendrick. Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
First thing I want to say, okay, I'm more of an Awkward Ranch Doritos guy. Okay. I think Cool Ranch Doritos is really just perpetrating. And I think
boo, I think 2 thumbs down, boo.
I think more of us need to embrace ourselves. Not everybody can be cool.
I like the Cool Ranch. And
if I'm gonna be honest, Cool Ranch not that cool. They kind of spicy and hot to me.
Child, yeah. If you don't get out of here, no, yeah. Child, I fucking love Cool Ranch Doritos. And child, it ain't as spicy as it used to be. You used to bite into Cool Ranch and you was like dust, and I was like, yes. And they done kind of it's not as dusty as it used to be. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, they don't use as much spices.
I prefer snacks that embrace who they really are. I think coolness is a fake facade. I prefer flaming hot Doritos and flaming hot Cheetos, because they actually embrace who they are. They live their life out loud. They live their truth. And I support them being flaming hot.
I'll be flaming hot too.
Right. But you rather be cool, right? You say
I do.
All right, your turn. I know you practice your yes ands, but that was very yes no. Go ahead.
yeah. That was
no, but
that was agreed, but that was okay, but boo. I'm sorry.
Felt more like a no, but go ahead.
Okay, it was a big
your turn for me to dunk on your thing.
Please don't. I just think you.
Oh, I should be a good partner. Okay, got it.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna be a good comedic partner.
Yes,
Go ahead.
please. I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest.
Mhm.
I felt like it was a personal attack. We was watching the Super Bowl commercials, and I the only one that think that some people was high when they made some of these commercials because some of them made no sense. I wasn't drinking or anything, but I was looking. I was like, oh, whoever made these commercials, like
Well, you was drinking a beer.
I was drinking a beer, but I didn't know anything else going on.
I was high because I did an edible, and that was a mistake.
Yes,
because I'm pretty sure I hallucinated. Seal was an actual seal.
He was
singing some seal song.
He was.
That happened.
Yes, that did, and it was weird.
Okay, it was a lot of anamorphic animals talk. Like,
yeah.
I was like, this shit is hitting.
No, it wasn't you.
I think I just saw Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend in a commercial with Ben Affleck. There's no way that happened. She's not famous at all. She's only famous for fucking Bill Belichick. Why would she be in the ad? But apparently you're saying that happened.
Yeah, and Tom Brady had a meltdown. They put batteries back in his arm, like they had to run into like it was
Super Bowl commercials
weird.
high. I'll tell y'all right now, it's a mistake.
But it made no sense at all. Some of these commercials, I was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And this year was kind of weird. I don't know what's happening, but they approved a lot of things that I think they would have rejected in the past. I was like, some of this shit don't make no sense.
I didn't find all the commercials to be that good, except the Nike women's ad was really good. It was just a really fucking good ad. Like it was when it got done, I was like, shit, that was good.
I like the one where they was playing people for the beers.
Oh yeah, the old people playing tennis.
Yeah, that one was good.
Why they went to Tyler Perry's stage in Atlanta and spent CGI Marvel money making Martha Stewart do that fucking dance that look like your feet don't touch the ground?
I never understand.
I don't know, but that shit costs money.
And
it looked amazing.
Yes, and that's something else. When you look at it, you be like, am I high?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh shit, it's kicking in. All right, now here's my last banter, and then we can move on. You can do one more and then we move on. I have become so washed. I'm so old at this point. The highlight of my day yesterday was buying walking shoes. And I mean, the way I was excited was like kids on Christmas type excited. Like I woke up early. I Googled like what time do the store open, and it was like not till 1. And I was like, oh man, I gotta wait till 1. And I got to the store, and it was like I didn't even know it was stores that did shit like this, because I'm used to going into Foot Locker, and they just bring out that weird shoe foot ruler, and they just be like, your feet is 12. Hopefully we didn't lose Bassey. Hopefully he just went off screen.
But not this time. This was fancy.
Yeah, they was like, oh wait, we did lose Bassey. Okay. I'll invite her back. But yeah, this shit was so fucking fancy.
Yeah,
this woman had a machine that scanned my feet. Like first I filled out some shit on a tablet, then I stood on a machine that measured my feet, then I had to walk on this fucking like treadmill thing in the floor over and over that measure how much weight I put on what part of my foot. And then they used that to tell me what kind of shoe I should get. And I knew what kind of shoe I wanted. I wanted some Hokas. I think that's what they call Hokas.
Everybody rave about those.
Bomani told me to get them. And that's how I know he watched too, because I told him I got a sale on New Balances, and he was like, man, but you heard about these Hokas? And I'm like, say more. I just bought the New Balance. What's up with the Hokas? He's like, it's like your feet walking on clouds. I'm like, clouds, nigga? My God, that's impossible. I didn't even look at the price because I knew the shit was expensive when they scanned my feet. I said, this shit going on a credit card. It's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like,
they scanning your feet. The cost of the feet measurement is in the cost of the shoes.
Yeah. Then she gave me some slut socks, guys. And
I like them socks.
I call these slut socks because these socks had lace see-through parts.
They were so sexy.
Like I'm gonna post a picture of them somewhere so y'all can see them. But these socks, y'all, like they was like the lingerie that Rihanna has, but for feet.
Yes, but for feet.
I don't know why I decided to make some part see-through. She said it so your feet can sweat, but I'm like, ain't that what the sock for? She like, nah, you need to wick away the sweat on the feet when you walking. So I'm gonna be doing. I said I'm just walking. I'm not running. She's like, it don't matter because some people wait till you put these motherfuckers on your feet. So I'm like, okay then. I wore them today. She was right. They was hitting. So the socks fancy. They cost way too much. I looked at the price. They was like $16. You get 2 socks for $16 off. Not 6. She said they worth it. They did feel worth it.
She said it lasts a while.
And the socks come with left and right. I've never had socks that got a direction.
Nope.
I've had socks. Socks are one size fits all, and they go on any. You put a sock on a hand. It's a sock. This shit was like, nah, you wearing the sock wrong. You can't. How you gonna walk like that, son? Flip your socks around.
Put it on the other foot.
Anyway, I got these Hokas. I tried 3 different pair on, but the ones I got, the motherfuckers it is like clouds. I walked like 3 miles today, and it just felt like I hadn't walked. Like that's how good my feet felt.
Oh, because I remember when
I could have kept going. I just it had been time, and I was time to come back home.
I remember you were trying them because she had you try yourself a pair, and because she was so detailed, she was like, "Yeah, we need one that kind of helps." And she was like, "Yeah, you got tight hips." She was like,
she knew everything. And,
yes,
and when she was giving me the shoes, she was saying shit that don't matter to me, but it made me feel good that she knew what she was talking about. She was like, "Oh yeah, these the Hoka, the Hoka terrestrials. They got the H frame in them, so you got to use that with the cross matrix." I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but if you say that's good, it sounds expensive and it sounds good. So I would like, here's what I'm gonna do with the shoes. I'm gonna walk around. So you just give them to me. You tell me whatever's in them. It can have the flux capacitor. I'm gonna walk around the store, and then I'm gonna tell you how they feel on my feet, because that's as smart as I get. I'm as smart as my feet feel. And so I walked around, and that first pair, she said it's probably gonna be this pair, and I said okay. And then I tried like 2 more, and I was like, you're right, it was them first ones, and I bought them. I don't even want to tell you what it cost, y'all, but it cost a lot. It cost a lot, but I think after one walk. Right now, 5-star review. So just letting y'all know, I'm washed. I spent a lot of money on some shoes to walk around the park in.
But if you're a consistent walker,
and they not cool shoes, like no one's gonna be impressed. This isn't like when you buy Jordans and people be like, "Nigga, I see you got the." They gonna see me with the Hokas, and only people that know.
Yeah, only people that know.
This like white people money cool, like how white people have shit, and you be like, "That's a t-shirt," and they're like, "Oh, a t-shirt."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, poor people.
Yeah, I've seen people who really love to walk in Hokas for a long time. People have raved about them. Yeah. And so I was like, well, them must be the shoes is like the shit for walkers.
They are. I swear by them after one try. I actually text Bo when I got in. I'm like, nigga, you was right. I felt like I walked in pillows. These are amazing. He's like, I sent him a picture when I bought them. Just a picture of me holding the box. He said, to see. I'm like, yeah.
So you about to, your feet life's about to change.
We both are the appropriate amount of crunk for new walking shoes.
Yes, come on. Get you a crunk buddy that's excited about bullshit like you is.
He put the battery in my back to be comfortable walking.
Feet gang strong.
But yeah, that's my last banter, Karen. You got one more, and then we'll get into Kendrick.
My last one is me and Roger went out to eat, and I call myself, I like this. I don't mind spicy, but I don't like too spicy because I actually want to taste my food. I don't like spice. I don't like that.
Unlike Cool Ranch Doritos that you just lauded, but go ahead.
Cool Ranch is cool. Mm-hmm. Cool Ranch is not spicy.
You said they used to be more spicy and they was better, but go ahead.
They did.
They
had more spice on it, but the spice ain't like a.
Okay.
It ain't like a heat spice. If that makes sense. And so, I don't mind spiciness like that heat, but I don't want it to overpower the meal because I actually want to taste my food. So when we had to eat, I call myself being all fancy. And so I put like some hot sauce as the tacos. So I put the hot sauce on the side, and I dip my my buns in them. I had like some buns with some pork, and I dipped it in them. Child, I was being too grown. I guess I dipped off and bit too much hot sauce Because next thing I know, I looked at Roderick, and next thing my eyes started watering. Like, I was fine, but just water started going down my eyes. I was like, ooh, see, this is what you get when you're being too grown. You know you're supposed to do a little dab. Let all folks say, a little dab, but do you? A little dab, but do you?
Some people can't handle the spice. All right. We're going to play one more interlude. So I'll put a commercial here later. And then we're going to come back and we're just going to talk about Kendrick Lamar and this halftime and why I think he's a genius. And I think the rest of you are wrong and stupid. All right. Be right back. All right. We're here. Bassey's here. It's time to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, the thing that we've all been waiting on, the culmination, I would say,
let's go,
of something that started years ago. Maybe after the Control verse this started, but this felt like the final level. This felt like the last say. This felt like the end of a chapter for me of whatever this saga has been with Drake, but also like a huge statement to America, the music industry, Black people, and white people, everybody. Like this felt like a person going on stage to deliver a message that they have been cooking for a minute, and a lot of stuff that people think is the full point was just byproduct points. Like I would even go so far as to say the Drake shit is a byproduct of what of the message Kendrick wanted to deliver, not the end goal. But let's start at the beginning, guys. All right. So they announced that Kendrick was getting the Super Bowl. And
beginning this season.
Some people made it about Lil Wayne not getting the Super Bowl. The rest of us were like, oh, cool, Kendrick getting the Super Bowl. Let me get an overview from 1,000 feet. I'll start with you, Karen, then go to Bassey. What was your hype level, your anticipation for just Kendrick doing the Super Bowl? Karen, you go first.
Well, for me, I've been excited ever since I heard that he was going to do the Super Bowl. When I first, even though it was, a few seconds, I was really excited about it. I don't know if we had already had our tickets or not, but
for his tour?
Yeah.
Oh no, because the tour thing came later.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't even think the album was out when they announced.
That's right. GNX wasn't out
yet.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like I think Not Like Us was bumping, and then it was like, and also
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm a huge Kendrick fan, and so Kendrick music for me is it's like a dense book. And so for me, a lot of his music I listen to over and over and over and over again. So I was like, oh, whatever it is I in my mind I was like, it's gonna be artistic, it's gonna be deep, it's gonna have layers. I'm gonna have to watch a YouTube on somebody breaking down all of the things but for somebody like me, I'm okay with that because I want to know what these things mean. So I was really excited.
All right. What about you, Bassey? When they announced he's getting the Super Bowl, anticipation level, all that stuff.
I want to say I'm a new Kendrick fan in that I've always liked him, always registered that he was talented, but I was out of the country when they all kind of came up. So I came back to the country and Drake was huge. And I was like, what? And so I kind of just checked out of hip hop at that time. And so the last year has been me I literally listened to Mr. Morale every single day. So when they announced because I'd watched so much and seen so many performances, like his performance of I on SNL, I was like, this motherfucker is a performer.
Yes,
he is a star. No wonder he's Beyonce's work husband. same level of maybe Beyonce's been around longer, but like
but that
comparable levels.
Yeah.
So I was really, really excited. And I was hoping that yesterday would be my last day of being obsessed with Kendrick Lamar.
It don't stop.
It wasn't. It's not. It's not.
I think it's so interesting because, you know, I'm a day 2. Like maybe I'm not a day 1 because I feel like I started messing with him after Overly Dedicated, but his first official album, I was like, Section 80. I'm all over this.
That's when I came in, Section 80. Yeah.
So I'll say day 2 so that I don't offend the day 1s because I know y'all are very precious about that shit and we'll write it. But I've been riding with this dude for so long. I'm such a Kendrick fan. All my friends, I've evangelized this nigga to everybody.
Sure.
I am 100% a Mr. Morale truther. Like I just like, even though I know people don't think it's his most popping album, whatever, that's not what it's about to me. I'm like, no one's making art like this, and this is more important than any of the other albums coming out because it's talking about something we don't want to talk about,
right?
And it's something
about.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's something I'm watching people slowly come around to on their own, where they're having this moment in society about loneliness, about disconnection, about being performative, and all this stuff. There's people are starting to reach this crescendo, like, I don't think I like this. This isn't good for me. And I'm like, yeah, you know who was talking about this a couple years ago, and y'all were like boring, or y'all were like, well, it makes me feel bad.
Yeah,
but now it's like everybody want to be a rich nigga broke phone. Everybody want to choose them and say, I'm sorry, I got to get the fuck out of this. Y'all, it's killing me to try to be everything to everybody all the time.
Yes, sir.
Everybody wants to do that. Everyone wants to be like, I had a good intention, I had a good heart, I don't know all the right words, but I'll always do right by you. Everybody wants that now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tired of the back and forth man versus woman bullshit on the timeline now. Like, we had to wait till the podcast mics hit the hood to go, oh, I see what you meant when y'all was yelling at each other, and then at the end y'all end up fucking because we won't stop fucking with each other, but we will keep fighting.
Yes.
Anyway, so all of that stuff I loved. And then when they said, yo, he getting a halftime show. Now, this is probably why I'm so happy today and was so happy yesterday. The halftime show I envisioned was the one he did. Not like, I know people were like, all my friends, they're obsessed with it, you know, and I'm loving the company, for the record. Like, everybody's like, I'm new to Kendrick. I'm like, I just wanted people to like it. I don't care. I'm not, there's no judgment. Come on over here. I'm a safe space. Come over here, unless you can send me the craziest conspiracy Kendrick shit, and I'm just like, I remember that lyric. You talking about the one from 2013 or the one from 2015? Like, I'm like that right now.
I said, remember when I in the group chat, I said Drake tried to kill.
Yes, you was like,
you
tried to kill him. I'm like, I don't think so, but say more.
because I was listening to the BET cipher, I was like, he's too angry for this just to be about, I didn't like Control, it hurt my feelings. I was like, he's too mad for that just to be the reason. Something happened. I'm still on it. I don't know what happened. But I know something happened.
Yeah, listen,
he was too angry in that cipher.
It is so crazy because like very little of what he does like flies over my head or slides by me. But when I tell you, after like that, the amount of Kaiser Sose shit I was doing with his catalog, are like, that was about Drake too.
Yeah, like if you go back and listen,
there's so many songs that just
random ass songs,
like a fucking fastball he threw right by my dumb ass. So I was like, yeah, man, I hate bitch ass niggas too. Wonder who that's about. It's like, oh, it's about Drake.
That was me. Didn't know, because I didn't know it was a beef.
When he was on Beyonce's album talking about Universal, y'all need to tell him. I was like, that's about him too. Like, I was on the treadmill listening to that shit in the Y, and I was like, I'm listening to the like Universal. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
when he said, truthfully, I've been lying in my rap songs, so I always fail to mention I slap homie. I was like,
Oh,
I was singing along when it came out, and now I'm like,
right?
His day one fans have backs on him.
Fam. So like, listen, obsessed. Like this is like, I didn't even know this was possible to get someone out to paint like this, but it brought us all together. He gets the Super Bowl. I have not participated in literally any of the back and forth. And it's not that I agree with it. It's not even that I disagree with it, if I'm being honest. I don't give a fuck.
Nope.
I got what I wanted.
Yes, sir.
I actually got what I envisioned. Something I really didn't think was possible. I thought everyone does a Super Bowl and you play your greatest hits and it's a sing along. And I wouldn't have begrudged them for doing that. I mean, you know, it's really, people want to hear Not Like Us, but you know, they wanted to hear All Right Again. He's already done that at the Super Bowl. They wanted to hear it again. They wanted to see King Kunta and Humble, and like, they wanted to bring out J-Rock and do Win and fucking, like, they wanted to pop out at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. He's like, I've already done that.
Once he did the pop out, and this was after I think they said he was getting the Super Bowl, but before he did the pop out. So when he did the pop out, I was like, then he can't do this again.
Right.
That's just doing the same shit. And y'all gonna really, you think you want it, but you're all gonna be like, I saw this when it was a pop out and it was better when there was all the black people on stage from LA. So I was like, he won't be doing that. I wonder what Kendrick's gonna do. It's gonna probably be a statement. So that was my level of excitement. But I wasn't doing the like, what is he gonna play? How many times is he gonna do Not Like Us? Because I was like, he's not gonna do it 30 times. Like, I know you guys hate Drake. But it's right. It's not going to happen at the Super Bowl. You only get a limited amount of time, and you can't just keep running back the same shit. And also, you guys are some weirdos. You'll say you want it, he'll do it, and he'll be like, he made the whole Super Bowl about hate. He didn't even. What about your music? What about uplifting the people? So, like, okay, fuck it. All right. So, all right, very excited. We're all very excited.
You're better than me because I will argue. I've been jumping at people's comments every day, all day, like. What do you mean? You didn't get it. First of all, when he said, I had to physically block Reddit because I was about to make an account and just start bullying motherfuckers. Because what do you mean?
Reddit is bad.
What do you mean?
3 people. I've talked to 3 people today, not including Bassey, about this. Like, this is, people have been talking to me offline, on the phone, like like a voice calls. My mom called. I talked to Ray Sani. I talked to Chris Lambert, and then we was about to go live, and Bassey's like, hop on. I'm like, this is the 4th person, and I've been enjoying this more than I would have enjoyed talking to people on the internet, because I think there's a weird thing that's happening where we're just all content creators now, and the internet content is like, social media content is my least favorite version of the content. I'll listen to someone do a long form podcast.
Me too.
YouTube breakdown. No offense, fam. I'm not listening to your motherfucking
hot take.
Yeah, you know, like,
you're stringing them together.
It's gonna always get somewhere out of pocket. And let me tell you why Kendrick Lamar is actually worse than Jeff Bezos. And I was like, I don't want to see that. I
do not care.
And you're wrong.
Yeah, like,
and you're wrong, right?
Yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm sad for you. I'm not reading all that shit. You know what I mean? So, I haven't really participated in that, and I expect people to have different takes. But, from, like I said, once again, from like the surface level or whatever, what did you think of the halftime performance in general? You know, meeting your expectations, going somewhere different, whatever, your satisfaction with it as a Kendrick performance, as a Super Bowl halftime performance. Start with Bassey this time, then I'll go Karen.
I was anxious and nervous, like I had something to do with it. Like I just felt nervous, like he was my child and he was going to kindergarten for the first time. I wanted him to do well. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted him to do good. I wanted him to whatever it was, just like, because, okay, so at the pop out, because all the songs were new, he flubbed a lot of lines. And I was like, don't do that, because people will latch onto it. Just get it. Like, I really was so nervous for him. And when I watched it, when Samuel L. Jackson came out, I was like, oh. And then like 5 seconds in, when he went like, I was like, okay, lock in. Things are happening. Lock in. And of course, I missed a lot of things, but I was just so happy to watch it. And especially because there were things that I picked up immediately. I was like, this is black as fuck. Like, this is black. But it wasn't black in the way, the ways that we talk about where people are black. I'm like, you don't really live like that. You just, you're championing sexy red, but I know you don't act like, what are you talking about? But it was like, it was a very authentic thing, and it made so much sense for him. And so I watched it and I was like, I just felt so happy watching it and picking up on the it just looked so good. And I was just so happy. I was so proud of him. I was so proud of him for what he did, because I knew, just based on what I've learned about him and the little bit that he said, it felt like this is exactly what he wanted to do. Exactly. Yes. So that was the first. That was off the rip. Then I watched it again this morning and I was like, no, I'm fighting everybody who has anything negative to say about this. This is fucking brilliant. Then I watched it again. I was like, I'm going to bully anybody. It's so good. Like, it is phenomenal. And one thing, like, I recognized too, the 7th time I watched, is that it was in direct conversation with Beyonce's Christmas halftime show. She took the South, she took the South and country, he took the West, but also hip hop in general. But it was the same, like this is who we are, and you're not gonna get it. You're gonna get something, but this is for us. And I just I loved every single part of it. I loved it.
Beyonce and Kendrick also both took black. Like they both were like, and this is blackness. Like, this is Black America speaking at this moment, which I mean, I should never be surprised by gender divides on social media, but it was a little surprising to see some people that went up for the Beyonce country performance somehow picking holes in this, when I'm like, to me, very much a similar, like, you don't have to like both, you don't have to dislike both, but there's some similar themes. It's weird to feel like one was more authentic or able to get away with it than the other, to me.
If you pull away all of, like, if you take away the horse, right? If you take away the GNX and just the horse and GNX anyway, like, come on. But if you take away, like, the things that made it specific to both, it's the same idea. It's the same concept. It's the same idea. It's the same attention to all parts of a stage, all parts of an audience. I think what it is that people aren't used to rap looking like that.
Yes.
I feel like if he was singing, people would have been like, oh, but because he was rapping, and people can't really conceptualize rap in any form other than walking back and forth
across the stage. Yes.
Yeah.
Care.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect, because that's the thing with Kendrick. From his albums to everything, you actually don't know what to expect. And I am the type of person, I allow the artist to take me on whatever ride they're going to take me on, regardless of the genre of music. And I had to understand everybody doesn't come in from that perspective.
Right.
A lot of people come in with their arms folded. They've already got their minds made up. They're like, I'm not going to enjoy this ride, whatever it is. And I was talking about people talking about Kendrick and Beyonce. The thing that kills me about that is it's all blackness.
Yeah.
And I've realized that with the internet, people in the internet will not admit some shit just ain't for them. They won't say, I don't like this thing, or it's not my jam, and go on about their business. It's like they have to be very loud and belligerent about something they don't like, but it's like, well, you're not investing in this, so why are you so loud about something that you actually don't give a fuck about?
Right.
Other than you want the conflict, you want the confrontation, you want the chaos. And that's what I realized about the internet. So a lot of times when it comes to certain things, I just check out, because I go, oh, all the chaos ages on both sides are going to come. I don't have time for that.
I'm in a very healthy place as of late, probably last few years, but a lot of this stuff, because we've seen it enough times, I'm so unmoved
and I'm
in a way
it.
that I just was not capable of being unmoved before. Now I see stuff and it's expected.
Yes.
Like, honestly, look around and rinse and repeat. These people do not, in general, these people do not like that halftime show.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm not saying they don't like the idea of it. I'm saying they look forward to it. They hype it up in their head. Whatever they get is never good enough.
Agreed.
Whatever artist they select,
no matter
not
who
the right artist. If they do select the right artist, they didn't do the right songs.
Mm-hmm.
If they did the right songs, they didn't perform the right way. It's like, it's always something. You can go back every single year, find articles. Rihanna halftime divisive, Beyonce halftime divisive, a G-Funk divide. Like, everything's always like, somebody don't like it, somebody do. There's a lot of bad faith reaction.
Yes.
So then, like, I want to separate them because I have a few friends that didn't like it that I respect, and I think they approached it with good faith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're like trolls.
Mm-mm.
But there's a lot of trolls on the internet too.
Yes.
And it's hard to parse out, like,
agreed.
Well, you didn't like it because you thought it should have been like this, as opposed to someone being like, I don't want all that woogity boogity hip hop, So like, it's hard to have these conversations online at the same time. So and then there's this other part that's really important, but I'll get to that in a second. Karen, you had more to say?
Yes.
Go ahead. Keep going.
And also, I think for me, I didn't know what to expect. So I went in with open eyes and just like, okay, I understand that, to piggyback on what Bassey says, Kendrick is an artist that happens to rap. I don't think people understand that.
Right.
He's an artist first, which means he's going to do abstract shit. He's going to do odd shit. He's going to think outside the box. He's going to push the borders. Like, because he goes, I'm an artist first, and I'm going to take my rap and insert it in this artwork. And you could tell from the layout of the field and all that stuff. Like, you can tell he had a vision. And he goes, okay, this is what I want. Now I'm going to take my music and put it into whatever this vision is. And I think that's what catches people off guard, Bassey, because I do agree that a lot of people are not trying to be funny. They're used to lazy rappers. And I'm not trying to be funny when I say that. They're used to half-ass lazy rappers. They're not really used to people that like, I take my art seriously. I'm not fucking with y'all. I got good breath control. I actually can perform. I probably can outrun all of y'all. Like, I don't bullshit. Like this is my lane. This is what I do, and I'm gonna be a perfectionist at it. You can kind of tell he's a perfectionist, similar to Beyonce. And so, I'm sorry. And so for me, I really enjoyed everything. Like just the colors, the vision. I know we're going into more details, but just everything was like, it was almost like a painting. It was like a live action moving, in my mind, a painting.
It's like when you watch those street painters where they do some shit where it look like they just slapping paint around and then they flip it upside down. And it's like a portrait of your mama or some shit. And you just like,
how did you know that?
How do you even know what my mama looked like?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it felt like a magic trick sometimes.
It did.
And of course he's so aware of all the space and all. He's such a, like, he reminds me of Tupac in that people forget Tupac was a theater kid. Not. I think, no offense to rest in peace Tupac, and I know he's Kendrick's GOAT, but he's well beyond Tupac to me. And but he is. Tupac had this gift of making you feel like he was not a theater kid, and you think he just like the homie, and then he does some acting or he's quotes some shit, and you're like, oh, nigga, you went to like a good school. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like
your parents were Panthers, huh?
Yeah, yes. Like they zoom out and you like, is it me or is this the PlayStation controller buttons? That is that little shit where you just like, what? Whose mind thinks like that?
I know those buttons.
All right, so let me just say for me.
Well, to Karen's point,
yes.
What and Rod and I spoken about this. What I appreciate so much about like in his song, Shut the Fuck Up and Keep It Rap. He loves hip hop. He loves rap music. So everything that he does outside of that, every painting he loves, every book he loves, every musician he loves, he brings it all back to rap. Yes. A lot of people believe that, oh, because I like this other thing, I can leave rap and do that now. but he brings it all into it and incorporates it all into rap and puts it in a way that makes it undeniable that he knows what he's talking about. He trusts his audience so much and conditions it so much, which is why when fans, white fans, his white fans get on my nerves. I'm sorry. If you're a white fan listening, I hate you. But but they don't like it because it wasn't for them. It wasn't like direct. They wanted to hear rigor mortis. They wanted to hear rigor mortis. They wanted to hear King Kunta, and it's like that's what you like. But what he's doing isn't about you and isn't for you. I really appreciated the interview that he did where he was like, "I'm black," like the end. I'm not. Relatable to everybody. I don't have universal appeal. I'm black. Everything I do is black. So when I saw yesterday, I was like, 100%, he's black. And that's first before anything else he does. He's black. And then the rest of you can be here, but he's not doing this for you.
Yeah. Right. I think a lot of people, okay. So for me, look, my response to it, everything you guys are saying, agree. The one more thing I want to point out, there might be one other rapper on the planet that I think could have done this. Maybe Tyler, the Creator. Other than that,
I can see that.
Oh yeah.
And I don't, it's not even disrespect. This is just how fucking good he is. And I don't just mean it from a sense of like his hit songs. No, I'm talking about the technical aspects
That's how Tyler
of the stage show. And how fucking in shape this guy is.
Yes.
He said he runs 6 miles every morning. I absolutely believe this man. If anything, he may be running 12 and he's lying to us. Because there's no backing vocals other than like stuff like Peekaboo or something. Like there's no verse backing, which no one does at the fucking Super Bowl. All these rappers have their songs
sounded
playing.
like the record. Yes.
There were moments where I looked for it to be lip sync. When he switches to Luther and he switches his voice to match Luther instead of the songs he was doing, I was like, are they playing? Nope, that's him. He just switched it up. And it's not like they're playing Luther and he's standing still. They're playing Luther and he's walking 50 yards to get back to the stage. There aren't two of these. Okay?
And
there's one guy.
Really quick, to your point about Tyler will tell you immediately that he's inspired by Dot.
Right. Yes.
He'll tell you immediately he's influenced. Tyler, the Creator, loves Kendrick Lamar more than Kendrick Lamar's own mother loves Kendrick. Like he loves, and he uses that as inspiration. That's big bro to him. But you're right. Tyler's the only other person that I can think of in present day who could do something like that.
I agree,
an entire show by himself.
Yes,
because his vision, just the way, because they, like you said, that artistry, that vision, that thinking outside the box.
But also, it's the commitment to professionalism. By what I mean, it's like I've never seen Tyler, the Creator, out of breath.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's no offense to these other rappers, but like everyone got vices and all this stuff. Kendrick just drinks fucking tea and meditates and runs miles and be around his family and go back to the house after, like, he don't drink, he don't really do a lot of smoking and all this shit. So like you can tell. And I feel like all that stuff is not just in service to like his religion and his body being a temple, but also into this, like, I need to be as clean as possible for my art to come out as perfect as possible. So you have him being in shape, breath control, right? You have the stage show, the presence, all that. The other thing is he self-censors. Now, I think some people will look at that and be like, well, just cuss and then let them blank it out. I say it's 100%. Everything he does is meticulous. It's all for a reason. He self-censors so we won't miss a word. There's never a reason to touch the censorship button so you don't miss a word going into the next sentence.
Right.
It will never happen. He can do the whole thing himself. He changes it up on the fly. The songs lose no meaning. He trusts that you know enough of the song that he can say, he can hit this. Like, we in the chat, we were obsessing over like, You think he gonna say pedophile? You think he gonna say pedophile? Hey, well, they probably gonna blank it out. NBC, they not gonna just let them say it, right? They not. Fox is, they can't have that on. Right? You think Drake gonna sue? Like, we weren't worried that the NFL was worried about him suing, but we was just like, maybe they just don't want the headache. And I was like, oh wait, he don't gotta say it. We all know the words. So he just gets to that line. He's like, certified, and everybody's saying it in the crowd. He doesn't have to say A minor. We're gonna say A minor. But it's the fact that he anticipated that. He switches up stuff. He's taking out curses. He's doing all that stuff.
Changes the rhyme.
Yes.
He changes the rhyme scheme in order for it to fit. There was like several parts, but the part that got me first was in Squabble Up when he goes, "Can I get a drop with a nigga?" No, he's like, "Can I get a drop?" No, like it's like it's different, but it's the same. But
this is why I didn't engage with people who were saying stuff like he didn't respect that it was the Super Bowl, or he didn't play like the songs he should have played because he doesn't understand how big that stage is. Or this, I said no. Now you don't have to agree and you don't have to like it. So this is not I'm not admonishing you, although I think you should agree and like it. But he made a choice. But he was more meticulous than any of those motherfuckers that get up there and have to get their curses blanked out, that forget lines of songs, that Lil Wayne would have passed out 30 seconds in. Like, this is not for kids. This is adult shit. This is a professional. This what a professional look like. And I think he wants to put on, like, not like, while I think by proxy it's for black people, it's for hip hop, it's for all this stuff. It's mostly for him in that this is my standard. I would be doing this shit in Charlotte in May. I'm gonna be doing this shit in Boston in August. Like, this is what a Kendrick Lamar experience is. This ain't no.
He was preparing people for the concert.
Like, I know y'all used to 13 niggas on stage and everybody's talking over each other and there's so much movement that you just go, I guess they're doing the concert. That ain't me. I'm finna hold this down for Dolo with my dancers and shit and with no backing. And it was
never left the stage.
Never left
the
and the whole
stage.
field was the stage, by the way.
The whole field was the stage.
The whole field was the stage.
So he was
and
like
never left it.
Everywhere.
Camera work perfect. When he popped up on
camera would pan over. Yes, the camera would pan over and he's like doing something. Then they pan over again and he's doing that dance over there. And then he peekaboo, he pops up. I'm like,
and just fully in breath, fully like, guys, they would have cut them out like hard. I would have popped up. Peekaboo. I just want the rolling for my chain. Peekaboo. Come on, somebody hold this. Scissors, sing your part. Like he was the way he was holding this down. There's just, I understand you just wanted something different. That does not mean what was made was some bullshit, is all I'm saying. There's a big difference to me between I think what people are conflating is that he did not give a fuck about that setting as far as playing by the rules, which is what the whole, it's self-explanatory. Sam Jackson is literally telling you guys that. But okay, you didn't pick it up.
That's okay.
Right.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So many things that people were talking about they didn't like. Samuel L. Jackson literally explained it, literally showed you. And it reminds me of Kodak Black in Mr. Morale, where people are like, I don't know why he's there. Why would he be there? Why would he tells you in the fucking songs in the album why he's there. Samuel L. Jackson.
You're not catching him in a hypocritical conflict. He is presenting you a hypocritical conflict as the art. He is like, I am at the Super Bowl, yet I feel strongly about black people and I feel very anti what America stands for. And yet I chose to be here because I think this is the stage to tell you fuck you to your face. Like, and I don't even think it was like in a provocative way to make you mad, although many people got mad. I think he's like, no, I just believe this. This is not a thing where I'm like, oh, this is not Janet Jackson pulling her titty out and being like, shocked you, America. This is him being like, I walk around my titties out all the time. You should not have let me come here. Like, Yes.
He said the revolution's about to be televised. You've got the right time, but the wrong guy.
Right.
And from there, that was the thesis. No, the thesis was when he was crouched on the GNX. He did a song that we didn't know.
Yes.
Right. And I'm doing what I'm doing. And then the backing, not the backing, the interpolation was dead prez hip hop. Like, he told everybody what was going on. So for people to sit back, I don't know what that meant.
Right. The second that he popped on stage and did something I had not heard, I was like, oh, he's going to do him. And I, like, honestly, I felt relieved. Like, I was more nervous before it started because I was like, just being a Kendrick fan from way back, I'm like, I don't think Kendrick will be comfortable. It will bother him for the rest of his life. He got this stage and he went out there and played those hits. And everyone said, wow, what a great halftime. And we thank you for just playing all your radio friendly songs. Good job, Mr. Lamar. I think he would have been like, I wasted my shot. And so when he came out there and did some shit I hadn't heard, I sat up more. I was like, okay, so I need to go back and rewatch this because he's saying, what are we saying right now?
It would not surprise me if part of the stipulation of him even agreeing was that I get to do what I want to do. I get to have my vision. Like that was probably the part of it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I get complete freedom on certain things. Like, yeah, I'll edit and all that shit.
Well,
but
you know, I have it on some inside authority that the NFL don't really censor much. Like it's some, like, I'm sure there's something where they're like, hey man, don't go up there and say Crips up, hoes down, let's go kill some bloods. But like, if you want to go out there and you just happen to be wearing all red, there ain't really shit we can do about that and have a good time. Maybe don't throw a gang sign up. Like, I think all these other people are like, they tell you what song to say and what. I don't think
so much of what they put on the NFL, like the league, is not the NFL. Like, people are mad at the NFL over Janet Jackson. It's the FCC. They're the ones that are causing the problems. They're the ones that do the delays. The NFL is basically like, we want a good show. And here's the thing too. This is something my sister told me. My sister said that they're not being paid. They pay basically all of it. So if I went to Beyonce and said, Beyonce, you can't do this, that, okay, I'm not going to be here. Like, they can just leave. There's nothing that's like holding them. The contract is non-binding because they not getting paid. Like, it's this whole thing, and so much, everything from Kaepernick to the halftime show, people put on the NFL all of these things, and it's the owners, it's the FCC, it's the network. Like, it's always something else. But they chose for a reason. They chose. That's why it was pissing me off when people like, he probably doesn't have any songs, and he's not going to have any songs, and how come Lil Wayne didn't get it? And it's like, you think they just were like, what are you doing? All right. Like, no, they've done their research. They figured it out. Right. They thought about him in 2022 when they saw him on thing. They put him on a short list immediately after that.
Yeah.
Because they knew that he could do it.
I was also proud of him watching this. Like I fucking knew him or something. Like, I was proud of him like he was, like I was from Compton. Cause it meant something, and I get it. So this is the other part that I was gonna say earlier. I think I've been waiting for this inflection point, this moment, for a over a year now, or about a year now, maybe under a year, but about a year. I've kind of been waiting for a lot of people to realize they're not Kendrick Lamar fans.
Yes, you're not.
You're Drake haters who latched on to Kendrick Lamar and could not deny his brilliance once you got over there. Because you would never have bothered to really give him more than a passing listen to be like, do the beat knock or not. And that's fine.
Right.
That's some people, that's how they listen to music, and that's all they care for it.
And that's cool.
I like depth. I like a triple entendre. I want to think longer. All of it don't gotta be shallow for me. You know, I
want it to hit me when I'm brushing my teeth.
Yes. It's what I liked about writing for Game Theory, ironically. is that we weren't. If it was Game Theory with Rod Morrow, the amount of silly sketches and bullshit that would be in that show and pranks, it would be a lot because I'm silly and I like being silly. But I like that, they were like, no, we're going to write something that demands the audience pay attention for 10 minutes. And it's going to go in depth. And there's going to be fucking graphs and charts and we're going to make an argument and prove it to people for those who we believe our audience is smart enough to keep up. And we made a show that I'm proud of to this day. And I feel like, and that did not make it to season 3. And I feel like Kendrick Lamar did a Super Bowl he will be proud of for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. And for everyone who's like, well, he done fucked up, guys, they don't do 2 Super Bowls. I think he's going to be all right. I think this was the pinnacle. This is the pinnacle. It's why he says game over. I think he's totally good. He wants you guys turn TV off, go outside and do some things. So I was so proud of him for pulling it off. I thought it was just flawless execution. I thought it was a vision that was genuinely him. I understand it can feel selfish to some extent that he chose not to make a product that was most palatable for all of the world because you're on all the world stage.
I didn't give 50 guests and bring all the New Orleans and Big Free, and Lil Wayne. He did it by himself because he was.
And they did all that. They did all that shit before the Super Bowl.
Yes, they did.
They Trombone Shorty and all these. They did all that. Mm-hmm. I don't need him to do that. He did enough. What he said then was like, welcome to New Orleans with the LA or whatever. Like, he acknowledged he was in a different space. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with that, dog. But he was him in the most him way possible. And just as a fan of him, it was for me. And while I will acknowledge people's discontent, I won't disrespect people's discontent if it comes from a good faith area.
Right.
I'm not engaged with no bad faith takes. So I know y'all have heard them all and y'all want to hear us ride on them. I really, truly did not talk to these motherfuckers. Anybody said something stupid today, I kept scrolling. I was like, that's dumb. And just kept moving. But I'm sure there's been a lot of those people. I haven't been on the internet enough today. But I thought, the other thing, and Bassey, maybe you can attest to this too. The other thing that I thought was that this Super Bowl halftime is why Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is required reading, because I don't even think you can understand it if you didn't understand that album. I really think to you, it let you down that he disappointed people and didn't want to live up to a certain expectation.
Right.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, the whole album is, I'm no longer worried about your expectations. I'm living up to the standard that I set myself. Exactly. And I know it's going to let you down. I'm sorry. I'm not saving you. I'm not even saving hip hop. This is my love. This is my passion. This is my culture. But I don't see myself as the flawless, like Jesus coming to save rap and black people. Mm-hmm. I see myself as Kendrick Lamar, the flawed human,
right?
Who sometimes lets people down, but is no longer letting himself down. Mm-hmm. To tell me that wasn't the show.
Yes, I 100% agree. Yeah. And also something else while we were talking, I really love when you was talking about Kendrick and Beyonce, and Roger was talking about how Kendrick was like running up like 6 miles a day. Mm-hmm. But Beyonce and them used to run treadmills in heels and sing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, and I remember her documentary on, I want to say the concert, the Coachella concert. Yeah. She was joking, but she was like, yeah, I'm used to practicing like 12 hours a day. Like, but I got to go home to my kids, type of thing. I was like, oh yeah. Like, you could tell she was dedicated. Like they would talk to her in those clips and she'd be like, y'all didn't fix what I told y'all to fix the first time. Yeah. So what are we talking about here?
I think they have a similar level of professionalism for sure. I mean, the reason she keeps coming up, because this ain't really about her or her halftime, but the reason she keeps coming up is because she also is one of one.
Yes.
And I think Bassey alluded to this earlier, when people see rap, they don't respect it in the way they would respect what Beyonce. So like everyone respects what Beyonce does. Like for the, not racist, but all of us are like, that's a crazy amount of work.
Yeah. And she's an athlete.
Yeah. Right. But what Kendrick does is like, well, it's just rap. Not to
It's
him.
just talking.
Not to him.
Not to him, it's not. And actually, no, your fave can't do that. I'm sure they're cool as hell, and I'm sure
they can't do that.
They're amazing, but them Black and Miles would have been tearing their ass up on the 50-yard line.
Their chest would have been tight.
You know what, too? You guys, I'm talking to the audience. You have to watch Kendrick and Beyonce. They've performed together like 2 or 3 times. I've 3 times that I've seen. Once when she was on tour, once for the BET Awards, and then once for at Renaissance. They match so well. Like the way that they connect on a professional level, because they recognize each other. There's something so symbiotic about how they work together. And when you take them separately, first of all, at the Renaissance show, Kendrick's mic wasn't working. And he just kept going. He just kept going. That's what Beyonce would do that. Beyonce, my mic's not working. Show must go on. They'll fix it.
Got caught in the fan, and she was just kept on singing until they finally got her hair cut out that fan.
And this is the other thing about Beyonce and Kendrick. They make intention and hard work look so fucking cool. There's not a lot of people on the right? And
level of I dare you to sing to rap fucking self-destruction while running upstairs. You can't. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. There's something so amazing. And the thing about Rihanna, when I saw her halftime show, I said she probably didn't want to go to rehearsal. People are like, oh, she did it by herself. I was like, she probably didn't want to go to rehearsal. If she had guests, she would have to rehearse with those guests. Yes. What she did, I can do this on my own. The dancers are doing their own thing. I'm just walking in front of them. Yeah. I'm just getting to where I need to go. It looked cool, but immediately I was like, she didn't want to go to rehearsal.
Pregnant.
And she was very pregnant.
And she was pregnant, and she pulled.
And they didn't know she was pregnant until she showed up.
Right. So it was a very Rihanna halftime. I ain't mad. Like first of all, I don't get mad at any of the halftimes. If I'm gonna be real with y'all, I even like Maroon 5. Fuck y'all.
Me too.
Like it's just halftime. It's supposed to be entertaining.
Justin Timberlake, though.
Justin Timberlake was there?
He did, but the thing about, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I hate Justin Timberlake. I like Justin Timberlake as a performer, but he didn't do Justin Timberlake. He did something else, and so it didn't look good. Had he done
was this the Man in the Woods era, or this was what Janet Jackson?
It was the Man in the Woods era.
Oh, Chad. Yeah. I checked that when he got lost in the woods.
I'm not gonna lie, dog. I don't remember watching that halftime with Justin Timberlake, but I will restate, I don't remember disliking it. I can either not care or I will probably like it. Those are my two things. You like, even when they put somebody up that I'm not a fan of, they always play like 4 songs I know, and I'll be like, that's what The Weeknd made?
Yes. I'll be like, oh, I know that, Bob.
He's spelling that wrong. Did he know it's not?
But you know what, though? Like, let's just, I was trying to avoid bringing him up, but I kind of have to when we're talking about effort and we're talking about like hard work. I I've seen clips of Drake in concert, and I always think, oh, this is the part where he does this. Come to find out, that's all he does. He just plays the backing track and walks back and forth in ridiculous outfits, and every once in a while he'll give an inspirational speech, and then like it's so lazy, and it's once I was like, oh, this is why your music is lazy, because you don't care.
Well,
you don't care.
You know, I'm glad I wasn't gonna bring up Drake much, but I'm glad. Let's go into Drake real quick.
Okay.
This performance was so good, and maybe it was the edibles. I don't know, but it made me have a thought that
I swear it was the edibles.
Okay, right. Yeah, I'm sorry, nephew. But it made me think about this thing in a way I hadn't thought before, or at least I don't remember thinking before, and that is, it really made me see Drake as the rapper who has dominated the age of content.
Yes.
He is a content rapper.
Yes, he is.
He is
a content rapper.
He is the guy that I actually don't know anything about.
Yes.
But he never stops producing. So it feels like he's ubiquitous and always been around and always will be around. But I know way more about Kendrick Lamar Duckworth's feelings on life and what has happened in his life and his biography through his music. Not through interviews and shit.
See him. He's never outside.
Exactly. You just go back to the crib. He pop out. He be like, guys, let me tell you something. Cell phones are fucking bad. Bye. And then he come back 5 years later. He's like, I was thinking about it. Maybe I was a little too hard on the rest of these niggas. We all make mistakes. Let me tell you about some of my mistakes. This is gonna fuck y'all up for real. That is him. And Drake can never go away because there is no substance. So he is the paper tiger algorithm monster. Yeah. He's the guy whose music is in everybody's like TikTok challenge or when you post pictures on Instagram. But it's not because you're actually relating to him. You're relating to the lack of something, right? So when you look at his
relating to the time period in your life when the songs occurred. People are nostalgic for their memories, and then that's the soundtrack to it. It's not the song itself. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but there was something that I wanted to say really quickly. Somebody told me that part of the reason why they don't care about Drake anymore is that he was there to usher in the streaming like, was it streaming decade or whatever. He got big because of streaming. You are not, remember when we were younger, you're not going to go to Sam Goody to get a Drake album. You'll push a button on your phone and listen to it, but you're not leaving your house to go and get it. So his music is push a button and stay here music. If we were still in the age where we had to go physical copies, Drake would have lasted maybe 2 years. Maybe 2 years. I'd give it a year.
Right. Karen, you go and then I'll finish my thought.
Okay, my thing, and you piggyback on what you said, Roderick. Drake actually came in my opinion, and he love bombed hip hop. This is why I feel like this. The reason why I say I feel like he love bombed hip hop. He came in and he made sure that he was in every aspect of hip hop, and he made sure his presence was always around. And he made sure that
he showed a lot of love when he came in. Everybody was his hero and his fave until he just decided, actually, y'all ain't shit. I'm gonna fuck all your girls.
Yes. And so you really made
everybody he said he liked, he ended up. How are you fighting with Pharrell? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, guys.
Right.
You're so right. Because they were trash the second he couldn't use them.
Right. And that's why I say it feel like a big love bomb. And the thing is, when somebody love bombs you, they make up with time, because he hadn't been that long.
Right.
So in order to make up for that time, I have to push in a lot of extra shit, extra gifts, extra love, extra support, and money. And like so he comes in, I'll promise you a career, I'll make you grow, you'll be in the videos, put me on your song,
and then they take credit for your growth.
Yes.
So shit you would have did on your own, like the Atlanta hip hop scene, is now that is actually because I came and was featured on your track. I gave you success. Rick Ross, you would have never been shit if not for me. So you ain't shit now that I'm not around and I don't like you.
Right. And regardless if that statement is true or not, it doesn't matter.
Narcissists don't care.
Right. And so I think, me personally, I think that this is something that Kendrick saw through. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, when you go and you tell people, hey, I think that he's gaslighting and he's love bombing everybody, people that are trapped in it and they don't see it will look at you and they'll think something wrong with you.
Well, narcissists have flying monkeys too.
Agreed.
Which a lot of Drake's fans feel like. Yes. So the last thing I was going to say about the Drake thing, though, when I'm saying he's like this emperor of this time period, the other thing I think his music does have a through line on is emptiness, loneliness,
he's easy,
sadness, and materialism. Yeah. And I think many people are suffering from that.
Yes.
Like, it's a lack of connection is what his music is about. It's not about connecting to other people. It's about how much, even though it looks like I'm connected, even though it looks like I'm having fun, I never am. This girl isn't calling me back. My friends in this room, they aren't my real friends. I actually don't trust these guys.
Whole songs about that. Yes.
This girl, I want to like her, but she's gonna have sex with other people, and she's never gonna be mine. And I'm gonna keep having sex with other women because no one can tie me down. He is representative of something, but it's of a lack of something, right?
Yes.
And I think Kendrick's performance was the antithesis of what Drake would have done. I think Drake would have put on a better Super Bowl show for the kind of people that did not like this show. Mm-hmm. I think Drake would have been the perfect choice, even if they think they hate Drake. I think Drake would have got up there. He would have played like 10 songs that they absolutely know every word of. Mm-hmm. He would have had all the features from all those rappers that he sharked, and everyone would have said, now that's a fucking Super Bowl show.
Yep.
And I just don't think that Kendrick value system is the same as yours or Drake's. And he said, I would never do that shit. So y'all finna get new verses you ain't heard. You're gonna get interpolations you ain't gonna hear again. Okay. You're gonna get set pieces and shots and stuff that you're gonna get black people as the American flag bending down, touching each other's back like this country was built on our back in front of a racist president who is looking down on us from up high, that the NFL is on, that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are honored to play in front of. And I'm not like, what I thought was so great about it. It was, and it's why I think Kendrick's the greatest. It wasn't performative, but it's a performance.
Yes, it was a performance. Yes.
Like, it wasn't like, I think a performative person does go fuck you, Trump, and they do make a big deal. Mm-hmm. I was doing this show like this because this is me.
Yeah, this is a show that
it'll piss some people off, but the goal is not to shock and surprise you and piss you off. Mm-hmm. The goal is to say this is my message from Sam Jackson's intro to turn the TV off. I am making a complete, cogent argument that you may disagree with, you may find hypocritical being that the space that is in, but this is my thesis. I have delivered it. And I will smile and sleep in peace because I did it my way.
Agreed.
In a way that not everyone, especially those who aren't creatives, but also just people that don't see music the same way as he does, with the reverence he does.
Right.
They just can't connect to him being like, I'm okay that you didn't like this. I liked it, and that's more important than you liking it.
Yeah. And Kendrick has a point of view that's really like clear. He knows what he wants. He knows who he is. So he knows that whatever he does, he's going to feel he does it with integrity, like everything he does with integrity. But two things. One of the things I don't know if I tweeted or skied or whatever it's called, but I said that people are so used to performative politics that they can't recognize political performance. Like, this is a political performance in that he was showcasing people we would never see. You would never, it was like the same way that, or in the way that Drake was, because he's dropped her, parading around Sexy Red, is different than Kendrick showcasing these women with like two-tone wigs and these boys with the grills and like people with the shiesty, like all these different things. He's not exploiting them. He's showing them. He's showing the world these people exist. These people on the street corner, me turning Man in the Garden into a doo-wop song because there's some niggas on the street corner who will sing doo-wop with their grills in. Like, this is all important.
And also, like, while acknowledging the double consciousness of it, right, through Sam Jackson and Uncle Sam, like it, like that's why, like I said, I'm not gonna get angry about it, but that is why I'm so dismissive. Right, I'll let Bassey get angry. Okay, she gonna get on y'all, but that's why I'm so dismissive of the critiques, because everything has, when you're creative, everything you do is making a choice. Every choice you made could have went the other way. Someone out there thinks you should have went the other way.
Right.
Doesn't make them a bad person. Doesn't mean they're wrong. Their way might have worked for someone else. And hell, if you're so good, get to the Super Bowl, do it yourself. Maybe we'll see that way and we'll go, damn, that's a good way to do it too. But that's how I see creativity. You're just making choices. The choices that he made are acknowledged in the piece, which means he considered the critique, which means I cannot be stuck by your critique. He's actually saying your critique is valid. When Sam Jackson's like, oh, I see you brought your homies with you, trying to get that hood pass, you know, like
cheat code.
Yeah, like that, like, I'm like, okay, cool, because that is the kind of thing that people do to be like, I'm still down. And he's like acknowledging, like, yes, this can look like I'm just putting on and trying to put on this coat for America and be like, hey, but I got my homies here, I'm still keeping it real. And Sam Jackson's like, oh,
I didn't sell out.
Minus one life. And then,
but you know what's funny? It's funny. People acted like Samuel L. Jackson just wandered on stage and had things to say, as if it wasn't scripted by Dave Free and Kendrick. Like, they acted like, well, why'd you do Luther? Like, what are you? People get on my nerves.
Samuel Jackson
acted like it wasn't part of the script.
Right. Yes. He had a whole purpose. Yes. And to me, I looked at Samuel L. Jackson like I looked at Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And the reason why I say that is because in Tiny Tina will basically, she comes in and she kind of tells you what's going to happen. And then she kind of walks away and lets you play the game. Yeah. And then she comes back in and she tell you all the rules and you punish. And then she walks away.
Yeah.
And so that's how, in my mind, that's how I view it. Because at the beginning, he told you we're playing a video game. Right. People skip past that. Yep. And then Kendrick does something.
He's like a dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons. Yes. Like, here are the rules, and he's the meta voice of like, you're playing the game this way.
Yes.
But you need to play it the right way because you know there's rules and everyone's watching you. It, like, the whole thing from the fucking video game controller button.
Yes.
The whole thing is, this is a game.
Yes.
I know I'm playing the game, and like a friend said, well, he's trying to deconstruct the master's house with the master's tool or whatever, which I think is a bit of a, like, I think that phrase is kind of lost. Yeah, it's kind of lost some things over the years. People keep using it the wrong way. But the thing is, one, you absolutely can deconstruct the house with the master's tool. Take a sledgehammer, hit a wall. I promise you, it's not staying up. But secondly, I mean, don't hit your walls, guys. I don't know what your rental situation is like, but you know what I mean. You can fuck something up with them tools. But then the second thing is, if I'm aware that I'm playing this game and I'm letting you guys know I'm playing the game, but I'm about to fucking like throw the controller against the wall. I'm finna do something a little different with the game that other people didn't do. Even cheat code,
right,
is him being like, yeah, this the hood, that's you're trying to play the game, trying to slide in, and the whole thing is just Sam Jackson being like, I'm America, played by Sam Jackson, who played Simon in Django. Steven in Django, who also, you know, has played these boisterous roles in like Spike Lee movies as like Masters of Ceremony type guy. Right. So, like, you got the consummate everyday, like Sam Jackson is Sam Jackson and everything, but you got the consummate like representation. But it's the way that he's like, and I thought this is so important because everyone I know that talked about this halftime show that wasn't me was like, you think he gonna do the song? You think he gonna do the Drake song? You think, because they're not gonna let him say, they're gonna sue, da da da. And I like that he knew that's what the fuck everybody wanted. And it's Kendrick.
He's up front.
So he ain't giving it to you right away. You're gonna have to fucking eat some, you have to eat some vegetables before you get your cake. And yeah, okay, Super Bowl's not,
and it still wasn't the cake.
Right.
And that's what I loved. It was
Super Bowl's not a vegetable plate.
Nope.
So everybody's like, what
12 to 15 minutes.
I know I got to listen. I thought you were just gonna say the shit I already knew. So I get the rejection of it because this was not supposed to be that place.
Right.
But I just don't think it would have been Kendrick if he did do that. So it just felt more to me natural that he did it this way. And I love when Sam Jackson is like, as he's like, when he pulls him in line by like, okay, you open up with this ghetto shit. Come on. You at the Super Bowl, bro. You wouldn't have took this gig if you was just going to get up here and do this hood shit. Give them the hits that they know from the radio. He did it. And then
here comes Salon.
Here comes Salon. Because he's like, because Kendrick's like, I'd rather just fry this nigga. Because fuck Drake. Let's just do what I want to do. But they like to sue. But he's like, let me just do that. And it was like, no. Let me slow it down, play the game. They want to, now it's time to do this. So it's like he found a way to check every box. Because some people were like, it's the song selection. Do me a favor. Go to Spotify, everybody. Type in the name Kendrick Lamar. Click on that name. Go to his artist page. What are the top 5 songs? He played all top 5 songs. Okay? So maybe you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. These songs are the popular songs. Peekaboo is not an album cut. Me and Karen go to Hornets games. Guys, I know the rest of y'all don't leave the house. I get it, it's pandemic. We're all fucked up. I ain't judging y'all. It's cool. You don't need to be around people. We do be around people. The way they play Peekaboo.
Yes, they do. Like every game.
They play TV off, they play Squabble Up, and they play Peekaboo every fucking game.
It's multiple times, and I'll be getting my life every time.
I know I'm a Kendrick stan, but when they play Peekaboo and they do that cutting around to everyone in the crowd and they rapping, I was like, all of us know this.
And they be knowing the song.
So like you don't have to like, I think also it depends on how you like GNX, because I think a lot of people think that's a mid album. So they're like, why would you play these songs? Well, the world apparently does not think this album is mid. It's probably his low key is definitely his most popular album, the fastest. Not saying it's his most listened to album all time.
Right. It's not a slow burn.
Yeah. Like it's the one that you don't gotta do a lot of homework to just enjoy off the rip.
Right.
Which is what y'all said y'all wanted. But of course he's gonna play those songs, not just because of a tour. Those are actually literally his most popular songs.
Right.
That right now. So that's why he played those songs. Anyway, my point being like that part where Sam's like, don't do the Drake shit, like just keep it peaceful, don't bring the beef here, and then of course he does it and then does TV off. He's aware of your criticism. Guys.
Of course he is.
You just don't like the choice he made, and you know what else? He's allowed you the space to do that. I was saying this to a friend today.
Yes.
One of the things I love about Kendrick, and I think we all can learn from, Kendrick does not want to be involved in the conversation. Meaning he's not greedy. He's not like these comedians that piss everybody off and then they're like, it's just comedy. You can't take a joke. He's never gone on a podcast and complains. I've never seen him talk about his haters outside of a song he is making as art.
Right.
In his interviews, he don't like to talk about the beef in the interviews. He's not that concerned with it in the interview. He's like, if it's not, I said what I had to say on the song. Just play the song. But so like, even the idea he was doing all this for hype and sales, that's actually not what he was concerned about. I think he really, to his core, believes he got a nigga out of the paint that needed to be out of the paint, and that it broadened his horizon as far as people coming to listen. But I think very much, like how I feel about our podcast, I don't get too attached to that love because there's a level of like professionalism where that needs to be had that says one day you cannot love me.
Right.
And that's okay because you made that choice and I should not be hurt by it and you should not be feeling attached to me
right,
for anything superficial. And I think this Super Bowl said to people, like, you can go back to not liking me. I'm not greedy or selfish. I did all this because I thought the message here was more important than me being greedy and getting y'all to be my fake fans for another couple years to realize I'm not Mr. GNX.
Right.
I'm Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people act like GNX was made to be popular, like made so that people will like it and like him, as opposed to this is the progression. And he said that this is where I am right now. This is my progression. But I think people forget that the main thesis of this beef, where it started, was it was about culture. Yes. My culture versus your lack of culture. The culture that I grew up in versus the culture that you're trying to adopt and colonize. What changed was Drake going rogue on Family Matters, because on Euphoria, like that was very playful. It's big me. It didn't warrant push-ups. Like that was long held animosity. Man came back and was like, I know what you're gonna do. I'm asking you not to do it, because if you do it, I'm going to push the line. So here's my little rapidy rap about all the things I don't like about you. And it's cute. But at the end of it, I know what you're about to do. Don't do it. A couple of days later, 616 LA. Oh, White Sun Sicker at the marina. Also, a nigga that you know is telling me all the things you're about to do. So I'm telling you not to do it. I'm telling you not to do it. Here's another
my
chance.
favorite thing about 616 is the beginning where he's literally praying not to have to do this. Man, like, God, please, you gotta understand, guy. He's testing me, and I know I'm not like. That's what I was telling like one of my friends is like, as a Kendrick fan, like as a day two, his music is all about the gray conflict area. It's like that's just what he lives in. He's more comfortable with that than the audience is.
Yes.
So like when you're I've grown accustomed to it, so I expect it now. To me, the pop out was the pop out was more of an abstract thing than the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
Like the pop out was the first time I actually saw him be like, okay, this is what y'all want.
Yeah,
like
right. I'm gonna get out here and perform the hits.
I got y'all. Like, because he normally is like, I could give you what you want, but I have some needs of my own, guys, and we're gonna have to compromise. Yes, we have McDonald's money, but I'm gonna need you to do your homework first. That pop out was the first time where he was like, nothing but West Coast, nothing but hits, nothing but people you know. I'm coming out, I'm doing nothing but verses y'all fuck with, nothing but never seen no shit. Like, we'll never get it. The pop out was my Super Bowl. We'll never get better than that. Period. I still can't believe that happened. Honestly,
right, to get that many artists in one.
And I was like thankful. I was like, God, I'm so glad I was alive when the pop out happened.
I was like 5 or 6 during Motown, or 4. Yeah, during Motown 25. I felt the same way watching the pop out. Yes. I felt so elated watching it. It meant so much. It just warmed my heart.
When he kept running it back to back? Remember that, guys? And each time, no matter how many times I still wanted him to do it again.
Me too.
I can't. That happened, and the reason it's not just phenomenal that it happened for anybody. If you're a Kendrick fan, it's phenomenal it happened because Kendrick does not do that kind of shit.
No, he does.
All his albums, no matter how much you love his albums, all of them got some song where it's just like, you finna cry, nigga.
Yes.
I don't care. Okay, we all had a good time. I like women, weed, and weather too.
Let me tell you about
4 niggas from my hood that died, and they just want me to rap about them to keep their spirit alive.
Let me tell you how I'm depressed, screaming in the room at the top of my lungs. Let me tell you, I went to therapy and fucked a white bitch. You were like, damn, Kendrick.
Listen, I cried at the end of Mr. Morale with that. I choose you. I'm sorry. I choose me. I'm sorry. Yeah. I legitimately was in my car like, fuck, man, you gotta do what you gotta do, Kendrick. You can't be living for these other people. I would do the same shit. Like, that's how, like, so anyway, pop out the only time I see
GNX was so important. Yeah. Sorry, GNX was so important because he was like, I deserve it all. Yeah, I deserve it all. As opposed to other times when he's beating himself up. when he wants to like kill himself, like literally wants to take his own life because he's got this survivor's guilt. So he gets to GNX and he is fulfilled. He has done the work. He has done everything that he needs and everything he wants to do. Like that's what was so important to me. That's why I was like, where he gets, where he goes.
I love I love this whole thing from like the whole perspective of it. I love the double consciousness of it. I felt like he's more free now than any other time he's ever done art. Like, I don't think people really understand what freedom looks like. Freedom isn't I made you all happy. I think freedom is I'm happy and I'm okay if you're not. You should go find your happiness. And I actually don't give a fuck if it's the biggest stage in the world. I like that has no bearing. Like, this was excellent because I'm excellent.
Yes.
That's how I think he looked at it. Like, this shit is excellent because I do excellent things. If I did this show and a fucking three people were in the audience, it would still be this excellent.
Yeah, they would get the same show.
So don't mistake this for any reverence for whiteness, for the platform, for the money they didn't pay me, for the NFL, for Donald Trump. This is a reverence for my people, where I come from, my culture, hip hop, and myself. And that's okay. And that is the lesson I took from this. And that is so beautiful. And I don't want there to be two of these. I'm okay if we go back to, if Miley Cyrus does the next one, I'm good.
Fine with that. Yes.
We don't, there aren't two Kendricks anyway. No. So I'm sorry. One out of your 57 Super Bowls was for niggas. I'm sorry. Two, because Beyonce had something like, I'm sorry we got a couple, guys. I didn't mean to ruin the party. And also, if you're a black person, you didn't like it, no harm done. I'm going to tell you how much I like it. I like it enough for both of us. I like it enough for you to hate it. That's how much I like it. Is that you could be like, that was the worst one. And I'm somewhere like, yeah, that was the best one.
And also, when you was talking about Kendrick being free, he did it the way he wanted to do it. And he was like, I'm performing and I don't want a weight. I want the weight that I did have is gone now.
It's gone.
And so I'm to the point where I know this might sound wild. Well, no, it's not wild. I cannot wait what he does next, because when somebody artistic is actually free, like they're actually free, which means their mind can tick. They can actually really get into those abstract places. There is no telling what we're going to get from him next. So I am really excited for whenever his next project
what he wants to
out.
do next. And I love that. You know him, he could disappear for 5 years.
Yes.
This is the burden of being a Kendrick fan. He likes to only talk when he has some shit to say. And it
just like Beyonce.
And honestly, it varies. Sometimes it's a month and sometimes it's 5 years.
That's why people were shocked when he dropped so many records during the beat. They're like, I thought he couldn't write fast, which is ridiculous.
We were getting fed. We were getting fed during that beat. Like, I was
and
like,
it was substance.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, but we were getting fed good. We weren't getting this wasn't Twinkies. We was eating good. I hate to sound like one of these backpack ass niggas because I'm not really one, but like, it felt good that kind of hip hop had staying value.
I was just thinking it. I was just thinking that I was like, Kendrick is not supposed to exist the way that he does. This is like Most Def during his Whack on Both Sides, just blowing up. Like, he's not supposed to exist. So that when people are like, oh, the industry's behind him, they're pushing him, why would they do that for a conscious rapper?
Right.
Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense.
I was talking to Chris Lambert and I said, this is like when Nas made that like I Am album. But if like not, because Nas intended to make a very successful commercial album and it wasn't. But it's like if he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because like GNX is like that to me, where I'm like, I could absolutely see Kendrick being like, that was GNX. I'm done making like hit music that is so immediately like consumable for that long of a period of time. Like, I actually would like you niggas to have to think about it and play this shit back a few times. Not that GNX has none of that, but this is his most accessible album, I think, by a long shot.
Yeah.
But I can see him being like, yeah, I set out to do it because I can do it, and I could have done this the whole time. I did do it. This shit ain't that hard. I'm just really good at it, and I'm not that impressed with myself that I did. Like, I'm not patting myself on the back like, boy, finally the goal of my life to be popular. He's like, I like that. I think low key that's what a lot of people felt insulted by. He took the Super Bowl and kind of said, I'm okay with not being this famous.
Yes, I'm okay.
And he didn't drop an album afterwards. He didn't drop a single or a video. Most people, I think everybody after the Super Bowl, they dropped something like immediately after they get on stage. He didn't do that because that's not what it was about.
This was his final boss. This was he's turning the game off. He's like, I beat the game. This was it. Like I slayed that tiger. I don't have another level to add to it. And there's no 2 Super Bowls. So all you niggas is like, he done fucked up. What's this mean for the next one? There's not a next one. This was it. Karen, go ahead.
But you know what, too? When people are asking, or being surprised that he did, number one, he did that verse and Not Like Us. Yeah. To me, like I was saying before, this competition was about culture. So if he's having a Super Bowl set that's about culture, that's going to be part of it as well. But he did that part so that you'll never ask him to do it again. He did it.
Yes.
You want to see it? It's on YouTube. Yes. He's game over. The game of hip hop, the game of battle rap, it's over. He's done. He's moved on. And he's like
the game that he played from start to finish of like this, whatever this like flirting with mainstream popularity thing, he's like, it's like when I played all those dudes in college football that year in my dorm, and I had never played that game before, and I beat everybody's ass that one time, and I have never played that game the rest of my life. They have begged me to come back. I could whoop your ass. And I did it with North Carolina, which is not a great football school. It's the year we had Julius Peppers and I think his name was Randall Curry or something like Ronald Curry, I think. Anyway, my point, not to brag on myself, but my point is, I retire from this game. I'm good. Like, Drake wants this. Drake would have liked to be here. This is more his thing. I did his thing better than he did his thing, but I didn't sell out to do his thing. Like, I did it my way, and I'm totally good. Karen, go ahead.
Yes, and They Not Like Us, when you talk about how Kendrick understands and perceives the critiques, They Not Like Us is a prime example of, I can do simple shit. I can be like, the other option pussy, I can do that. Right. I can literally do Drake better than Drake. Outsell him, win awards for it. But he also understand this is not my lane, and doing this would not fulfill me.
He never got. Also, he didn't start doing like remixes of Not Like Us. He didn't go out and branch out and find other popular rappers to diss.
Right.
He was not chasing anything. He just stood his ground, said, "I don't fuck with this dude, and we should stop." And then was like back to making dope music.
Right.
Yeah. And that third verse, Drake can't do that third verse. Drake can't make that third verse. But beyond him not being able to make it, the fact that he included it, he didn't have to do that. But he did, because he's like, you can do this kind of music and say something. You can make people bop and then give them some shit to listen to learn about, or to know, or to walk away with. It's possible. The fact that you're not doing it is a reflection of you. And that's the thing too. When he disappears, he lives his life. He goes to places. He has a child. He takes his daughter to school. He prays for her. He does all these like different things. So, and one thing that I think I've said in the chat before, beyond Drake not having a culture, Drake is not cultured. There's never a time when he's like, yeah, I went to Africa for 2 weeks. Even him in Australia right now, you just see him walking around his hotel in weird outfits. You don't see him on a safari or whatever the fuck they do in Australia. You don't see him in anything that is about that culture, unless he's able to siphon something off of it. He goes to London just so he can work with British rappers and use his British accent, but he's not like going to like every place that he goes is to party. Ibiza, party. What is it? Turks, party. It's never like I need culture or I want culture. He has no connection to culture. He doesn't even have a connection.
If anything, the black people around him are his hood pass.
His culture.
Like they are what Sam Jackson accused Kendrick of doing during the set. It is the, hey, here's the blacks. I'm in the hood. I'm black adjacent. Keep messing with my music.
And it's going to be interesting to see what Drake does next, because you brought up a good point, Bassey, when you say he's going to these other places. You know what? He's going to these other places to restart. He has to go somewhere because he's burned all his bridges here in America.
This nigga went to Australia during the Super Bowl because there's no further place on the planet than Australia from us right now. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think this nigga wanted to be asleep when the Super Bowl was happening. And he's like, only way that's going to happen is if it's motherfucking like 6 a.m. when it is 6 p.m. because if I'm alive in any, because he loved gambling and he loves sports and he loved being out around athletes. This nigga went out there with them kangaroos and them tarantulas and was like, let me just pretend this shit is not happening. Okay.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And the thing is, because Kendrick did what he did and that song's international, people from other parts of the world have kind of been hip to the game. And it was like, if you come here and you start this shit here, some people over there are going to start shutting that shit down.
I saw a video. I don't know. Maybe it's AI, but I saw a video where this nigga was at a party and they was playing that song, like playing Kendrick songs. And I was like, oh God.
Well, they weren't playing the song. Somebody put the song over it, but the guy was singing the song. He was singing the song loudly. That's why, the thing was off where he was like, the thing was off. Yeah, so somebody put the song over it, but he was in front of Drake singing the song.
Hated. I don't ever want to be that hated. And you know what's got to hurt the worst? Kendrick got to the Super Bowl and it's exemplary of the line that he had. Only you like being famous. Like, you won't see me at the party with them rapping your songs. Cause why? I ain't gonna be at the party. I don't care about the fucking party. The party's over. I like to go home, everybody.
I would like to go home and rest.
Like, did you see the video where he comes off stage, he's hugging everybody? That looked like a man that's finna go to sleep. Like, that didn't look like a man.
Super Bowl?
Yes. Like, it didn't look like Kendrick was saying, he's like hugging it's like it was like, we did it. It was more like we did it, y'all. It wasn't a like, it's up. Let's turn up. Like, what we doing after this? It was like, guys,
we did it.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go to the room,
go to the dressing room,
and I'm be home tomorrow.
Right. Call my wife.
By the morning. He probably slept on the plane. He's like, just straight to the airport.
Listen,
he booked that flight home immediately.
Nothing makes me happier than knowing that this man is sitting at his kitchen table with his feet dangling, holding his babies, and not watching a podcast, not looking at YouTube, not reading.
Did you see him at the Grammys?
Yes.
The first award he won, he was sitting there like he was waiting for his name at the doctor's office. He was just sitting there, then he just got up, said whatever he had to say. And it was the way he stood up was so funny to me. He was like, I just got here.
That's the other part. Like, I'm beyond feeling sorry for Drake. I've built my walls, constructed them strong enough. But there's the other part. I do think every once in a while, like, thank God Kendrick Lamar don't hate me. Cause I don't think I would be able to make it with a guy who is that well-adjusted also hating me and being that talented, because he don't seem to move in hate until he do. Like at Grammy, he look like, if you didn't tell me what he won those awards for and you just showed me the picture of him holding them Grammys, I'm like, he make kids albums. He like what he
do?
He made some music for like people with special needs.
Like a producer.
His pantsuit is cute, like his pants outfit.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here?
Like, oh, what so what does he do? It's like, oh, he did this by destroying the most popular rapper on the planet and pretty much driving him to Australia and driving.
Part of what I love about it, he doesn't shy away from the fact that this happened. He doesn't want to talk about it, but he doesn't shy. Like, when I saw the perspective of the woman at the table that he hugged on his way to the stage, he came up to her, like, put his hand on her shoulders and like gave her a hug, and she didn't know him. They didn't know each other. I was like, oh, this nigga's stalling. So by the time he hits the stage, that A minor hits a special way. I was like, okay, that's human shit. That's human.
This is the last thing I'll say, and then we can wrap it up, because I've enjoyed this conversation. Hopefully y'all listening have enjoyed. I know we've gone a while, but we always go a while with Bassey. But I would be remiss if I did not bring up that motherfucking smile when he hit that "Hey Drake,"
and look straight into the camera too.
Hey man, please don't hate me like Kendrick hate Drake. I just don't.
You do not want him.
I don't need that. That would, honest to God, haunt me. I would think about that before I went to bed every night. If I'm Drake, I'm just hey Drake. Like he can't get away from. He gonna be other places in life, and people gonna be, hey Drake.
It's gonna be like mustard. People like, hey Drake. Like it is going to be like mustard. But here's the reason why we're gonna wrap. But here's the reason why I feel bad for Drake I would feel bad for anybody who has to like go through that. But I don't feel bad for Aubrey Graham, because if things would have gone the other way, he would be fine with us singing. He hired a crisis management team to be whatever beat on his screen. Right. He would be fine with us saying that. He wouldn't feel any way about it. So I don't feel sorry. First of all, even me just trying to sing that, it's so not catchy. Family Matters is such a bad song. And I'm sick of people acting like throwing him bail, acting like it's a good song. It is not a good song. There's like 7 bars that are interesting, and they're not even about Kendrick. Like that song is not good, and I need people to stop lying about it. It's not good.
His best work was Push Ups, when he thought this was going to just be some lightweight funny shit. And if I'm being frank,
because he's won that before with the jokes.
Yeah, and if I'm being frank, that was, to me, when I heard that, I went, oh, that was pretty funny. Like I didn't go, God damn, Kendrick got to say something to this. Push Ups, I was like, oh, that was cute. Like if you keep it at Push Ups level, you'll probably be okay.
Right.
And then Kendrick,
we would have never got They Like Knock Up.
No. And then Kendrick said, don't you fucking say what I think you about to say.
Leave me alone.
And this motherfucker said, nigga, I said it. And I said, oh God, why did you do that?
I didn't even finish listening to Family Matters before Meet the Grahams hit.
I didn't finish listening.
I didn't even finish listening to it. I'm just now listening to Family. That's why I'm like, this is a terrible song.
He could have showed up and did just the beef songs if he wanted to for Super Bowl, and I would have been just as happy. By the way, that's like
good songs.
Yeah, they're good songs.
Good songs. They're actually good songs.
I was low key mad we only got like 30 seconds of Euphoria. I get it. You guys have moved on. I will never move on.
Euphoria.
That's my one.
I love that song.
That's the one.
That song every day. It's so
every day. Listen, I know all the words. Okay,
me too. Okay. I walk out the house hoping somebody will ask me to
listen.
I know all the words. Somebody ask me, because I know the words.
I'll be at the gym. You don't got to ask when that come on. You don't got to ask what I'm working out to. Okay, you know. For the second, you can tell every word I'm pantomiming. As soon as I'm like beep 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 beep, they're like, yeah, he about to be doing these weights. Yeah, I'm out the way. Yeah, okay. They be like, yeah, this nigga right here is okay. He getting it. He on that bike. He about to kill himself. Like, yeah, that was my one. And honestly, if he could have just done Euphoria all 7 minutes, and I would have been like, that was a good halftime, right? What are you guys talking about? But all right, Bassey, tell the people where to find you and your podcast.
I am okay. So I was gonna delete Twitter, but I can't because it's attached to like so much shit. Like I was trying to like get on something. I was like, oh my God, it's Twitter. I can't get off Meta because my VR joint is connected to Facebook. So whatever. So I am on Sky at Bassey World, but I'm also kind of on Twitter when I want to get a joke off and I need more people to laugh at it. So Twitter at Bassey World, but don't really Sky at Bassey World. And I have the podcast, The Idea of Podcast with Bassey and Mike. It's everywhere. We have like maybe 9 episodes, and our next episode is going to be, we did it this morning or this afternoon, and it's going to be about
the Super Bowl halftime.
Super Bowl. Jesus Christ, the Super Bowl halftime. Yeah.
All right, man.
Every Tuesday.
Make sure y'all check her out. You know I love you, Bassey.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad you came here. I'm so glad that you did this. It was we were just chatting and it was like, we're about to go live and talk about it. And it's like, let's do it. So I'm glad you could make it. Such fortuitous timing. Karen, of course, you know I love you as well. That Tiny Tina reference is just that's the stuff of legends. That's
okay. I don't know what that is.
It's a video game. Yeah, it's a video game, and I knew, and I don't even know how many people in the audience knew, but that's, you know, I love that nerd. Okay, I was like, wow, this is a good.
Y'all see why we married.
Yeah, I think 3 of us have played that game, and that's okay.
Yes, and somebody else was like, Tiny Tina.
There's one person in the audience like, it is like that game.
It was perfect though, because the whole set was a video game, so it was a perfect down. I figured it was a video game, but I didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah, that and Love Bomb, like you was killing it, man.
Oh, all right, you were cooking with that. You were cooking with that.
Because when y'all was talking, my brain, like I said, my brain was ticking in the background, and you were making me think about other things, like the behavior, and so that's how I made a lot of.
And he's moving like a narcissist too. He's moving like a narcissist, so that's a perfect.
And when you're cooking like that, when you're cooking like that, you don't have to tell people you're cooking. You don't have to be like, let's go back to when I was cooking.
I was like thinking the exact same thing.
You just cooking and everybody's like, you was cooking. That's how that.
You know, I really cooked with that.
All right. Let me stop being petty with these inside jokes none of you get. We'll be back throughout the week. Find us, the Blackout Tips, everywhere you get podcasts. Don't forget the live show tickets and all of that stuff. And until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye. All right.